Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. In today's video, we explore one of the most iconic and talked about coins in Australian numismatic history, the 1967 no-mint mark Australian Queen Elizabeth II 20-cents coin. This coin has sparked curiosity among collectors for decades, not just for its design and connection to the early decimal era, but also for its subtle mysteries, hidden potential value, and the increasing interest it has gained in the modern collector's market. Whether you're an experienced coin enthusiast or someone who recently stumbled upon this piece in a drawer or coin jar, this video will provide a complete breakdown of its origin, design features, minting history, reasons for rarity, and, most importantly, its current value in 2025. So let's dive in. The year 1966 marked a historic turning point in Australia's monetary system. The country transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal currency system. Among the newly introduced coins was the 20-cents denomination, which quickly became a staple in Australian pockets. In 1967, the second year of decimal currency production, the Royal Australian Mint continued striking the 20-cent coin. The 1967 issue maintained the same core design as its predecessor. It featured the elegant and dignified profile of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, while the reverse side displayed the unique and graceful image of a swimming platypus, an iconic Australian animal, symbolizing the country's identity and natural beauty. What distinguishes the 1967 20-cent coin, and what causes confusion among newer collectors, is the absence of a mint mark. Some people believe that a missing mint mark indicates rarity or a minting error. However, in the case of the 1967 20-cent coin, no mint mark is actually the standard. This was simply the minting practice of the time, with the coins being produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, which typically did not include mint marks on circulating coins during that era. The 1967 Australian 20-cent coin is struck from copper-nickel, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 28.65 millimeters, a mass of 11.31 grams, and features a reeded edge. The coin is round in shape and has a distinctive feel due to its metallic composition and thickness. On the obverse side, we see the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This profile was used for several years and is widely recognized across multiple Commonwealth coinages. Her Majesty faces right, wearing the royal tiara, with inscriptions encircling the rim that include her name and title. The reverse side of the coin features a swimming platypus, masterfully captured in motion. The design, by renowned artist Stuart Devlin, adds a sense of movement and life to the coin, making it one of the most beloved reverse designs in Australian numismatic history. In terms of absolute mintage, the 1967 20-cent coin is not rare. Millions of these coins were struck for general circulation, and they were used widely by the public throughout the late 1960s and well into the following decades. This means that most circulated examples carry minimal value above face value. However, coin collecting is not just about age or mintage numbers. Several other factors can influence a coin's rarity and value, including condition, errors, and unique striking characteristics. There are unconfirmed reports of error coins from this year that may have been struck on incorrect planchets, with weight or thickness variations. In extremely rare cases, coins may have been misstruck or display unusual flaws in alignment or design. These types of errors are what collectors are often on the lookout for. If verified by a professional grading service, error coins can command significantly higher values on the collector market. Furthermore, coins in exceptionally high grades, known as uncirculated or mint state, are far more desirable. These are coins that have never been used in circulation and retain their full original luster, sharpness of detail, and flawless surfaces. While common in average condition, finding a 1967 20-cent coin in pristine, mint state can be quite rare and valuable to collectors. One of the most common misconceptions is that the absence of a mint mark on the 1967 20-cent coin makes it rare. This is not the case. The lack of a mint mark is normal for coins of that year and does not inherently add to their value. It is essential for new collectors to distinguish between actual minting errors and standard features, as misinformation often leads to inflated expectations. Another common myth is that all old coins are valuable. Age alone does not determine worth. A coin must have demand among collectors, limited availability in top condition, or unique features that set it apart from the rest to be considered valuable. As of 2025, the value of the 1967 no-mint mark 20-cent coin varies depending on its condition. In heavily circulated condition, where scratches, dull surfaces, and general wear are present, these coins are typically worth only face value, which is 20 cents. Occasionally, collectors may pay a small premium, perhaps up to $1 or $2, simply to complete a decimal set. In better grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, the value increases slightly. In this condition, collectors may be willing to pay between $5 and $10, depending on the market demand and availability at the time. However, coins that have been professionally graded as uncirculated or mint state can be valued much higher. A mint state coin from 1967 with full original luster, no visible damage, and sharp detail can fetch prices between $15 and $50 or more at coin shows, auctions, or online marketplaces. If a rare error is identified on a 1967 20-cent coin, the value could increase significantly. Depending on the nature and severity of the error, prices could range anywhere from $50 to several hundred, or potentially higher, but only with proper authentication and a strong collector interest. While the 1967 20-cent coin may not be among the rarest or most valuable coins in Australia's history, it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. It represents an important period in Australia's economic transformation, carries the artistic brilliance of one of the nation's best designers, and remains an essential piece in any complete decimal coin collection. From an investment standpoint, these coins are generally not considered high-return assets unless they fall into the uncirculated or rare error categories. However, they make for an excellent starting point for those entering the world of coin collecting and are highly accessible. If you have one of these coins in your collection, it is worth examining closely. Look for signs of errors, inspect the condition, and consider having it professionally appraised or graded if it appears to be in exceptional state. You may not be sitting on a gold mine, but you could very well own a small piece of numismatic history that deserves recognition and care. The 1981 Australian 20-cent coin, featuring the beloved portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, with no visible mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious enthusiast, this video will walk you through everything you need to know about its history, its varieties, its rarity, and its current market value in the year 2025. The year 1981 marked a significant period in Australian coinage history. Due to an increased demand for circulating coinage, particularly the 20-cent denomination, Australia outsourced its coin production to multiple mints across the globe. While the Royal Australian Mint continued producing 20-cent coins domestically, 2 international mints also participated in striking millions of additional coins to meet national demand. In total, well over 160 million 20-cent coins were produced in that year alone. However, unlike many coins struck in other parts of the world, these coins bore no identifying mint mark to indicate their origin. Instead, the coins were shipped and circulated in Australia seamlessly, blending into everyday use. Despite being struck in different facilities across different continents, the coins were designed to appear identical to the average user. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design created by British sculptor Arnold Machin. This side of the coin reflects her poised and regal likeness, crowned and surrounded by the words, Elizabeth II Australia 1981. On the reverse, the coin depicts the native Australian platypus swimming through stylized water. This image, created by sculptor Stuart Devlin, is one of the most beloved representations on Australian coinage, symbolizing both nature and national identity. While all 1981 20-cent coins may appear visually identical, keen-eyed collectors and professionals in the numismatic field have identified subtle differences between the coins struck at different mints. Most notably, a unique variation often referred to as the 3.5 claw variety exists. This distinct feature refers to the number of claws visible on the left forefoot of the platypus on the reverse side of the coin. While the standard design includes 4 prominent claws, certain coins display only 3 full claws and a noticeably shortened 4th claw. This minor design anomaly has become a key marker for identifying coins believed to be struck outside of Australia. collectors regard this 3.5 claw variety as a significant point of interest, and high-grade examples of this type have garnered increased attention in the collector's market. The difference is purely cosmetic and does not affect the coin's legal tender status, but it offers insight into the dies used and the minting process during that period. These subtle design differences are critical in distinguishing between standard circulation coins and more sought-after varieties. In addition to claw count variations, there have also been documented cases of rare minting errors associated with the 1981 20-cent coin. One such example involves coins that were accidentally struck on incorrect planchets. A handful of coins have been discovered that were struck on scallop-shaped planchets typically used for coins in Hong Kong. These off-metal or off-shape errors are incredibly rare, and their presence in the numismatic market causes quite a stir among collectors and investors alike. Such anomalies are often auctioned at a premium due to their scarcity and novelty. In terms of total mintage, the 1981 20-cent coin is not rare. With more than 160 million pieces entering circulation, it is among the most common coins from the 20th century in Australia. However, within that massive mintage, a handful of rare varieties and errors bring considerable value to what would otherwise be a common coin. Most of the coins struck in 1981 have spent decades in circulation and exhibit signs of wear, scratching, discoloration, or edge damage. These circulated examples are generally of interest to new collectors or individuals assembling type sets. However, the true value lies in high-quality, uncirculated examples, particularly those showing clear minting anomalies or die varieties. The coins that have been preserved in mint state condition, often found in rolls or sets, are far less common and command higher prices. Collectors place great importance on luster, strike sharpness, and overall eye appeal. Even a standard 1981 20-cent coin, if in pristine condition with no contact marks or signs of wear, can fetch several times its face value due to demand among collectors seeking perfect specimens. Circulated examples with visible wear and tear typically hold no more than their face value, which is 20 cents. These are commonly found in change and are primarily collected for fun or casual interest. Coins in better than average circulated condition, particularly those graded as very fine or extremely fine, may fetch slightly above face value, with values generally ranging from 50 cents to $1. These coins have moderate detail remaining and display less wear but are still relatively accessible. Uncirculated coins, especially those that have been carefully preserved in mint rolls or collection albums, command significantly more attention. A mint state example, with full luster and a sharp strike, can be valued between $2 and $5 Australian depending on visual appeal and collector demand. The 3.5 claw variety in uncirculated condition is far more desirable. In 2025, well-preserved examples of this variety have been valued at $50 or more, depending on market conditions, interest from collectors, and the overall grading of the coin. These coins are often accompanied by third-party authentication and grading, which can add to their credibility and market price. Even more valuable are the exceedingly rare error coins, such as those struck on the wrong planchet. These unique specimens are highly sought after by specialist collectors and have been known to achieve prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars when sold at auction. Their exact value depends on the clarity of the error, the coin's overall condition, and the willingness of collectors to bid for such rare finds. The 1981 no-mint mark Australian 20-cent coin serves as a perfect example of how everyday coins can hold extraordinary value, not just in monetary terms, but also in historical and collector significance. What seems like an ordinary piece of currency becomes a treasure trove of stories, production quirks, and artistic detail when viewed through the lens of numismatics. For collectors, the key takeaway is to pay close attention to detail. Examine the claws on the platypus. Look for planchet inconsistencies, weight differences, or unusual edges. Evaluate the condition of the coin, and where possible, have high-quality examples professionally graded to maximize their potential value. Whether you're someone who picked this coin up from change, inherited a jar of old coins, or you're actively searching for the most intriguing pieces to add to your collection, the 1981 20-cent coin offers something unique. From its global production roots to its subtle varieties and potential rarity, this is a coin that rewards curiosity and careful examination. So next time you're going through your change or exploring your coin collection, take a closer look. You might just discover a hidden gem. The 2020 cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, specifically the version with no mint mark. This is not just another coin from your loose change pile. It's a piece of historical context, symbolic heritage, and numismatic significance, all pressed into one small yet mighty disc of metal. Whether you're a veteran collector or a curious viewer just beginning your numismatic journey, this is the episode you won't want to miss. Let's begin by traveling back to the year 2000, a year that marked the dawn of a new millennium. The Sydney Olympics captured the world's attention, the Y2K bug came and went with little consequence, and amidst all of that, the Royal Australian Mint continued its tradition of producing circulation coinage, including the standard 20-cent piece. This 20-cent coin from 2000 carried the now iconic platypus design on the reverse side, created by the master engraver Stuart Devlin, whose work has been synonymous with Australian coinage for decades. The obverse side, as expected, features the fourth effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This regal portrait served as the standard likeness of Her Majesty on Australian coins from 1999 well into the following decades. Now, what makes this particular coin notable is the fact that it does not bear any mint mark. While this might not seem significant to the casual observer, in the world of numismatics, the presence or absence of a mint mark can dramatically affect the desirability and value of a coin. It's important to understand that the mint mark is typically used to indicate the location or minting authority responsible for producing a coin. Australia's coins are usually produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, which often does not include a mint mark on its circulation coinage. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on the 2020 cent coin is not necessarily an error or anomaly. It is, in fact, the standard for most general-issue coins. However, that absence becomes important when compared with special editions, mint sets, or coins struck elsewhere under contract. Let's take a step further back into history. Since decimalisation in 1966, Australia's 20-cent coin has played a crucial role in daily transactions. Made primarily from copper nickel, the coin has a distinctive weight and feel, measuring approximately 28.5 mm in diameter and weighing in at just over 11 grams. The coin was introduced to replace the florin, and its size and metallic content have remained largely consistent over the decades. The 2000 issue continued this legacy, with tens of millions of examples struck for general circulation. These coins were not intended to be rare or precious. They were mass-produced, utilitarian in purpose, and expected to pass through countless hands over the years. And yet, despite their common nature, some collectors are drawn to this year's coin for its clean design, historical placement, and collectible potential, especially when found in uncirculated or mint condition. Now, let's talk about rarity and condition. In the world of coin collecting, rarity alone does not determine value. A coin must also possess qualities that elevate it above the common, such as minting errors, uncirculated condition, low mintage, or unique historical relevance. The 2000 Australian 20-cent coin, despite its large mintage, does offer some collectability for specific reasons. First, it is part of a transitional period between the old millennium and the new. Second, the coin features the modern portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, which introduced a more mature and lifelike image of the monarch. Third, if preserved in pristine condition, untouched by circulation, this coin can fetch a premium among collectors who seek to build complete, high-grade decimal collections. It's worth noting that over the years, some coins from this era have been found with exceptional strike quality or eye appeal, often due to early die states or clean planchets. These qualities can increase the desirability and value of a specific specimen far above its face value. Now we turn to the question that's probably on everyone's mind: what is the actual value of the 2000 no mint mark Australian 20-cent coin today, in 2025? Is it worth more than 20 cents? Can it be sold for a high price online or to a collector? The answer depends almost entirely on condition. In circulated condition, where the coin shows visible signs of wear such as scratches, discoloration, or faded relief, the value typically remains close to its face value. You might be able to sell it for a small premium, usually between $1 and $2, if it is still in relatively decent shape. However, if the coin has never been circulated, meaning it retains its original mint luster and has no blemishes, dents, or scratches, then the value can increase significantly. Uncirculated specimens can sell for anywhere from $5 to $10, sometimes more if the buyer is seeking that specific year to complete a set. Graded examples, which have been professionally certified by recognized grading services and assigned a numerical score on the Sheldon scale, can command even higher prices. A coin graded MS65 or above, that's mint state 65 or better, could reach prices in the range of $20 to $50, depending on demand and timing. Although not considered a rare coin by global standards, its value lies in its condition, historical relevance, and completeness for collectors. There's also the question of future value. Could this coin become more valuable in the years ahead? While no one can predict the coin market with certainty, trends in numismatics often favor coins from the early 2000s as interest grows in modern decimal series. As more collectors begin to look back to the turn of the century, demand for well-preserved examples of common year coins could rise, especially as high-grade examples become harder to find due to circulation where, furthermore, as Queen Elizabeth II's reign is now part of history, coins bearing her image are gaining sentimental and historical value. The 2020-cent piece serves as a snapshot of Australia's monarchy, economy, and design ethos at the start of the 21st century. It represents a bridge between 2 centuries and 2 eras, and for many collectors, that's worth far more than its face value. To wrap it all up, the 2000 no-mint mark Australian 20-cent coin may not be a rare find in terms of mintage, but it carries with it a unique blend of historical context, aesthetic charm, and collectability. For those who take the time to search through their pocket change or coin collections, discovering a clean, well-preserved example of this coin can be a rewarding experience. In 2025, the market value of this coin varies based on its condition. Circulated coins fetch between $1 and $2, uncirculated examples range from $5 to $10, and professionally graded specimens can command even higher prices. Its long-term value may continue to grow as collectors and enthusiasts begin to appreciate the finer details and historical importance of modern decimal coinage. So, next time you come across a 2000 Australian 20-cent coin, take a closer look. Examine its surfaces, consider its condition, and think about the history it represents. You may just have a little piece of the past that's worth more than you thought. Thank you for joining us on this detailed exploration of the 2000 no-mint mark Australian Queen Elizabeth II 20-cent coin. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insight and a better understanding of this iconic decimal-era coin. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to our channel, leaving a like, and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Do you own one of these coins? Have you ever found an error coin in your change? Let us know, we'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, every coin has a story.